I've just been given the task to send a certificate for one of our commercial insureds, and I'll kind of walk through how to do that. So the commercial insured in this example is Sharp Installation and Service. We see that they have an active work comp, auto, umbrella, and a general liability. So I go over to the certificates tab under their name, and I see that they don't have any current certificates, right? They have current, expiring, and expired. It looks like there are expired certificates. However, there's no new ones. So unfortunately, I'm not able to very easily send out a certificate. So what do I have to do? Well, let's go back and do a little investigating. We see that, it looks like the auto has just renewed. The general liability has just renewed. Today's date, mind you, to stamp date, put a timestamp on this is the 16th of April. This expired just 9 days ago. So the 7th of April for the GL and 7th of April for the umbrella, and then just about a month ago for the auto. Okay. Now these are E&S policies, but we have gotten to the point where we have the coverage limits displayed inside here. Okay. It'll be another training video for how to get to that point. For this, we're just working on certificates. So assuming we have created and manually inputted the policy information, I'm now going to go back to the certificates tab and walk through how to generate a new certificate based off of those new expiration dates. Okay. So from here, I'm going to add certificate master. Under the Accord form, we're selecting the certificate of liability insurance. That's going to populate the active policies. You can see status over here. We have the auto, general liability, work comp, and the umbrella. Okay, and that does match up. I'm going to duplicate my tab, go back to the overview, and that does indeed match up with the active policies. So we see the work comp, the active auto, the active general liability, and then the active umbrella. Okay, I'm going to go back to the other tab that we were working in. So now I want to select I want to select all of those, all of the active current policies that we're showing that will display on the certificate of insurance. From here, I'm going to save and continue, which will take us to master remarks and coverages. Okay. From here is where we would add in if they had a blanket additional insured or blanket waiver of subrogation. For the sake of simplicity, I'm going to leave those blank for right now. Okay, I'm not going to check anything in this field. We're under the master remarks and coverages, and instead I'm going to move on to the add master documents. As we continue to work our way through, we're not going to be adding any documents. And then we'll look at certificate holders. We do have, again, I'm going to jump back over to the expired. I'm going to go to the other tab here, and I'm going to go back to certificates just to keep this tab, where I am in place. Now, looking under expired, I'm going to click on both of these, and it looks like, yes, indeed, we have a handful of certificate holders. Okay, we have Anchor Construction, City of Frisco, Texas, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm going to expand the selection down to show more than just the 10. So items per page, now we're showing up to 50. And we see under the old expired master certificate, there's a handful of certificate holders that we'll want to make sure that we include back over here on the certificates that we're working on. So I'm going to now import holders, and I'm going to choose the ones that we were in place before. So that's all the ones that we were looking at. Like I said, Anchor Construction, City of Frisco, Texas, et cetera, et cetera. And we are under the master certificate over here, okay, which is where I was showing from the previously expired certificate. Now I will import this, and now you see that they're all attached, essentially now brought into the certificate that we're working in. And I will then continue through. Okay, now it's showing us what the policy, the certificate of liability will look like once it's completed. And we can see that now we have this filled out from all of the information that we've told it to put in, from the commercial general liability, the auto policy, the umbrella, and then of course the work comp. So from here I can save and continue. And I'm not going to distribute any of these right now. I'll show you what that means here in a moment. I will just save and close. So now we're showing that we do indeed have a current master certificate of liability, as opposed to just having no current and then the expired ones here. Okay, so we do indeed have current certificates, and then from here for the individual ones that we need, we can generate, let's say, Sharp installation calls, and they say, hey, Anchor Construction is needing a certificate of liability. Well, from here, I will be able to download the certificate of liability. It'll pop up right here, and then I will download this. It will pull up into a zip folder. I'll open that, and it'll populate a new box, and then I'll double-click in here, drag this over, and now you see, just as the example was showing before, the policy limits, and now with Anchor Construction listed in the certificate holder.